Good evening, everybody. What a wonderful evening it is tonight. I'm glad to see everybody come out who's here tonight, even with the difficulties of the snow. But this is Bristol Township Council meeting for February 20, 2025, and starting time looks like 7:01. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance, moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Very good. We need a roll call.
President Bowen.
Here.
Vice President Murphy.
Present.
Mr. Antonello.
I am here.
Mr. Blaylock.
Here.
Ms. Dunlap.
Present.
Mr. Glassen.
Here.
Mrs. Wagner.
Before we started the meeting, we met in an executive session.
Yes, thank you. Bristol Township Council made an executive session prior to this meeting, excuse me, where township real property issues were discussed and personnel issues were discussed.
Thank you. Monthly reports are available for review in Township Manager's office. Monthly comments will be taken on land development and official action items. General comments will be taken during opportunity for residents to address council. Next, we have presentations. We have a 2024 year-end review and 2025 goals. And the first up is the chief. Good to see you, Chief.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity to go over the year in review for the police department for 2024. Oh, okay. It's a little lag time. All right, the Bristol Township Police Department consists of a chief of police, 2 lieutenants, Lieutenant Sean Cosgrove, who is responsible for patrol operations, and Lieutenant C.J. Winnick, who is responsible for administrative and investigations. We currently have 8 sergeants, 4 corporals, who were newly promoted, 5 detectives, 41 police officers for a complete complement of 61 sworn police officers. We also have 7 civilian support personnel. Calls for service. In 2024, the Bristol Township Police Department, our officers responded to 26,181 calls for service. That's up from 2023 calls for service that amounted to 24,306 calls. Our officers conducted 4,323 traffic stops in 2024, which is up from 3,176 stops in 2023. Our officers also responded to 1,455 crashes, motor vehicle crashes. That's down from 1,463 crashes in 2023. Property crimes. Our officers investigated 26 robberies in 2024, which is down from 2023, where we investigated 44 robberies. We conducted 51 burglary investigations in 2024, which is also down from 2023, where we investigated 63 burglaries. We investigated 675 thefts. That's up somewhat from 2023, where we investigated 642. Our officers took 223 reports of criminal mischief, which is also up slightly from 2023, is where we investigated 221. death investigations. Our officers responded to and investigated 13 overdose deaths investigations in 2024, which is down from the 2023 number of, we investigated 20 in 2023. Other death investigations, we investigated 26 other deaths, which is also down from 39 in 2023. And we also responded to 72 natural cause death investigations, which is also down from 83 in 2023. Training and development. Our officers participated in hundreds of hours of training throughout the course of the year. And some of the topical areas this year were active shooter training, low light firearms training, traffic safety training, crash investigation and reconstruction training, motor vehicle crash investigation and reconstruction, leadership training, and child abduction response training. Weapons offenses. In 2024, we investigated 26 weapon offenses, which is up slightly from 2023, where we had 23 weapons investigations conducted. The co-responder program, we continued our partnership with Tullytown and Bristol boroughs, sharing a co-responder who assists our patrol personnel with responding to mental crisis calls, people in mental crisis, drug and alcohol addictions, homeless issues, those sorts of things. We find it to be very successful helping out us with those types of calls. In community engagement programs, our officers engage with the community to build working relationships to solve community problems, such as National Night Out, Coffee with a Cop. Our officers do book readings at the elementary schools, and Shop with a Cop are also some of the programs that our officers enjoy participating in. In 2024, we had the opportunity to hire 5 new police officers to assist in preventing crime and serving the community of the people of Bristol Township. Now, some of our 2025 goals is one, to provide residents with professional service in the most efficient way to reduce crime and reduce costs. 2, add additional police operators, patrolman operators to our drone program to improve police efficiency and reduce risk to officers and residents of the community. To train our officers in proper use of force techniques, active shooter response, and most importantly, de-escalation tactics. We will be evaluating our 12-hour shift for its effectiveness and efficiency while hoping to reduce overtime costs. We would like to increase our community outreach and establish a more effective and transparent neighborhood watch program throughout the township. And of course, the installation of red light cameras at 2 intersections along Route 13 to reduce serious traffic crashes on Route 13 and throughout the township. And also, as I spoke briefly about, to continue the responder program, which we find to be very beneficial for our officers and the members of the community. That concludes the actual slide program. Do you have any questions?
May I have a copy?
Yes, yes, electronic form, right? Yes, sure.
We'll get you that.
Okay.
Great job. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that presentation.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Fire Rescue Department, Kevin DiPolito, the fire chief.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, great to see you.
You as well.
Thank you.
See, it's working all right. Okay, so our year 2024 was a good one. I'm going to get right into the 3 divisions that I oversee. The Department of Fire Rescue, when you hear me refer to Rescue 225, that's the vehicle we're talking about. That is our 2022 rescue pumper. We have a reserve which is our old truck that we keep for emergencies when this is being serviced or out of service for maintenance, what have you. Our call statistics for last year, we had we worked 248 days. As you know, we're in service Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 4:30, supplementing our volunteer fire departments. We had 519 fire rescue EMS runs last year. That's an increase of 21%. Broken down, it was 432 fire rescue and 87 medical. Both had an increase, as shown there. Our average response time from dispatch to responding, according to the county CAD statistics, the 911 center, was 1 minute and 2 seconds from dispatch. I assure you that it was less than that, because there's a lot of times we're on the street and we're responding immediately, but by the time they're done dispatching the call and enter us responding into the CAD, it takes a little time for that to get caught up. So that is definitely a lesser number than what is shown there. Our average response time to the scene has been 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and our total response time from the time that we are dispatched to the time we're on scene, average time is 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Now, there are calls in there, keep in mind, that we do not go red lights and sirens to. They are low priority calls, and they are not worth risking public safety responding lights and sirens to non-emergent type calls. We assisted the fire companies a total of 253 times. Those are times when 1 or 2 of my personnel are assigned to a vehicle doing fire inspections in the community. We'll respond to the volunteer fire departments to assist them staffing their apparatus. And most importantly, there were no injuries to anyone in our department again last year in 2024. As recommended in the fire and EMS study that was done a couple of years ago, I appointed 2 captains in our department. They are my 2 senior men, Alex Delvecchio and Thomas Stressman. Both are also certified fire investigators. Alex serves as my deputy fire marshal and will cover for me or assist me on major fire investigations. And Thomas will do the same if both Alex and I are unavailable. Then Thomas would take the fire investigation assignment. In 2024, I obtained a $236,000 DCED grant to purchase a special operations trailer pictured there. This became critically important for a couple of reasons. One was the storms that we're seeing in this area are becoming more violent. Just like we saw the other day, trees are coming down, they're coming on top of houses, they're crushing houses. In the last couple of years, we had a roof blown off, doors blown in at a building in Croydon. We had another building where the roof collapsed, an industrial building, and had it been 30 minutes sooner, the room that it collapsed in would have been filled with workers who were on their lunch break. The resources for these types of trailers locally at the county level, the nearest one is kept in Ivy Land. So you can imagine if we had a storm come through that damaged our roads, dropped trees, dropped power lines and such, by the time the county assembles their resources in Ivy Land and can get them down here, it could be an extended period of time. All the while, we may have somebody trapped, we may have animals trapped, or we don't know if anyone's trapped, and we need to get in there to search that building or that structure that's been compromised. The equipment that's in this trailer can do structural stabilization for during a collapse. It's also equipped for trench collapse. It can do breaching of concrete, cut steel. Everything that you see on that trailer was bought to the specs of FEMA's PA Task Force 1. That's the team that you will see deploy when there are major incidences, like down in Florida or down in the Carolinas, when they're assisting other states with floods and swiftwater rescues and such. I did that purposely so that if we do have a major incident in this township, and we call for the help of PA Task Force 1, which is stationed primarily in Philadelphia, when they arrive on scene to assist us, it's going to be the same equipment being used in the same manner that they do it. So the transition and the assistance would be flawless. What you see there is some of the equipment that you see in the trailer on the right-hand side, those gold struts. That's called a raker, and what it does is it stabilizes a wall. If a wall is being blown out, we can stabilize it from the outside and then progress our way in, stabilizing collapsing floors and ceilings. What you see in the middle there, that device that's attached is a sensor. If there's the slightest vibration or the slightest movement, that thing will start screaming. It also Bluetooths to my phone and several of my personnel's phones, Amy's phone as well. It would send a signal letting us know that there's movement, and we would be able to address it. What you see there is the men and women of the department putting together those same structures, but in wood. Sometimes what you have may not be enough and you have to build it. You have to build it to expand the wall that you're trying to hold. Or you've done your job, you did the search, and you want to leave, but you don't want to leave that behind. So you build it out of wood if you need to, and you take it with you. Next up is trench. This was actually yesterday morning. This was the final hands-on competency verification that I wanted the men to do, the men and women of the department to do. It was done right out back in our trench rescue prop. They're doing a simulated trench rescue with the equipment out of that trailer. And once this was completed yesterday morning and the equipment was put back, yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock, the trailer that you saw a few slides prior was put in service. It's now in service as a resource in the county, you know, for the most part. If a neighbor called for help, we would help them. This is a unique piece of equipment. This is specialized training that these guys have. We wouldn't say no to helping a neighbor. We increased our water and ice rescue capabilities with training, and what you see, that motor in particular, the second boat, the reason for that is when you do a swiftwater operation, you have to have both the boat that's going in to make the swiftwater rescue, you have to have one on backup, on standby. So the second boat, the second motor, there's a motor attached to the bottom boat. The other motor you see there would be put on the second boat for standby if the first crew got in trouble. And I want to thank Right Way Welding in Croydon, who built the device, or the bracket there for holding that second motor on the trailer. He did that for nothing. The picture to the right was some of our men in the Delaware River in New Jersey doing some of their training. You can see a line going across the river, and what they were practicing was being tethered to a line and then being let out slack to grab somebody that would be hanging onto a tree or what have you. Out back in one of those green containers that you see there, the one on the left, we built a training prop inside there. NFPA and OSHA requires that we do annual recertification training, and inside that trailer, we built a training maze, a confined space maze. As you can see, it's tight, and the air packs and the masks that the firefighters are wearing are all painted black to simulate an actual burning building where you can't see anything. For emergency medical capabilities, presently we have 4 EMTs and a paramedic on staff. Everyone who is state certified at those levels are also rescue task force trained. What that means is if the police department is making an entry into an active shooter situation, those 5 individuals can go with the police department and make rescues of shooting victims. The remaining personnel in our department are all first aid, CPR, AED, and stop the bleed trained. Rescue 225, our primary apparatus, is a licensed Pennsylvania Department of Health vehicle. Obviously, it can't transport patients, but it can respond to medical emergencies. My vehicle is also equipped with the same equipment. Each vehicle carries ballistic chest protection for the personnel should they engage in a police action, and every fire inspector vehicle is also equipped with EMT equipment and AEDs. Within the Office of the Fire Marshal, I conducted 21 significant fire investigations last year, worked closely with our detectives and the District Attorney's Office on several arson cases, one of which just a month ago led to a sentencing of 2.5 to 6 years for the arsonist responsible for lighting the Croydon carpet factory fire in November of 23, which injured, at that time, Croydon Captain Al Fournier, who is now the battalion chief. During last year, I also assisted several neighboring fire marshals with significant investigations that they had going on and conducted over 60 plan reviews for sprinklers, fire alarms, and such. The fire inspectors conducted 1,652 fire inspections and UNO inspections during the year, 877 re-inspections to make sure significant violations were abated. During those same inspections, as you may or may not know, we also do the sign and vending surveys, which are brought back here and turned into the finance department. And we did 1,652 emergency contacts. What that is every time we do an inspection, we update the emergency contact information for those properties. We then share that with the 911 computer, the police department, our finance department. So if the police department have an issue at a building at 3 o'clock in the morning, the emergency contact information that's in the computer is generated by every inspection we do every year. We provided 77 smoke alarms. In most cases, we installed them, and that was in 20 different homes last year. In the emergency management department, we had 11 limited activations of our emergency operations center. What a limited activation is typically we're here, we're monitoring the situation, and we'll get involved if need be. The activations were mostly storms. There was, you may recall, the water outage that affected part of the township, and of course the November election. We were here for that as well. We provided 3 emergency preparedness classes to residents, and our personnel completed numerous online courses and participated in a couple of in-house activities. We held an emergency planning meeting with some of our community partners, the school district, hospital, nursing homes, some of our large employers. You may recall I coordinated a emergency management activity that involved all our emergency services, police department, the hospital, fire police, public works, with the emergency management and disaster medicine students from Thomas Jefferson University, and that relationship will continue in the future. And I served as an evaluator for a hazardous materials incident at Dow Chemical. The UTV shown on the screen now was just delivered last week. This is a new emergency management asset. When it is complete, it doesn't have the items on it yet, but it'll have a Stokes basket carrier. It'll be equipped with some tools, emergency and flood lighting. Some of the activities that this could be used for are, for example, we were searching a wooded area for a elderly patient who had walked away from home. It was on foot through a lot of paths in August. This would have expedited things. We could have searched those woods a lot quicker this way. With our storms getting worse, it's always a concern of mine that we're going to have a neighborhood compromise. We can't get fire trucks and ambulances through the neighborhood. Something like this, we'll go around the trees, we'll go up on lawns to get to a home. If someone has called for an ambulance and we can't get to them, instead of sending firefighters or EMS personnel on foot to carry them out, which could be, a dozen houses or an entire block, we can send this in to go get the patient and bring them out. It has the capacity to carry 1,000 pounds in the back, tow 2,500 pounds, and it has a winch on the front that can move 4,900 pounds. Obviously, that could drag some trees out of the way as well. Construction activities, you know I'm involved in assisting the manager with overseeing the projects that are going on in the township. Presently, we operate out of 2 buildings. We operate out of this half of this building, which is where our office is, and the fire station is this building right here. We've been operating out of those buildings now for 15 years. To say it's an inadequate space is an understatement. We have no showers. We have a kitchen that has no water. There's no space for conducting plan reviews. We don't have the ability to fill our own air cylinders. We have to go to one of the volunteer fire stations to do that. Same with our gear washer. The exhaust system for our diesel exhaust is homemade. No classroom space, and so on. There's a picture, the architect's rendition of what our new building will look like. It's the existing senior center with a 10-foot connector building and then the 4 bays. Those 4 bays will hold Rescue 225, our reserve engine, our special ops trailer, boats, and UTV. Will have adequate space. The rooms in the existing building will be repurposed. We're going to take the large open space and add a couple of rooms, one of which would include a classroom, so that we can do firefighter training as well as the public education training that we do sometimes in here and more often at the senior center. In 2024, I obtained 3 grants, the one I told you about earlier, $236,000 from the DCED to buy the special ops trailer and its equipment. And I want to point out that we could have bought a already established trailer with the equipment in it, and it would have cost that much. The guys agreed that we could do a lot better if we did it ourselves. So we bought the trailer separate, we mounted all the equipment on our own, we spec'd all the equipment, and we easily got double, if not 2/3 more equipment by doing it ourselves. We got a casino grant for fire and rescue equipment and a $15,000 state fire grant. To date, since I've been here in 2005, we have now obtained $3.5 million in grants for our department in fire rescue, EMS, emergency management equipment. dating back to when we got the generators and put the generator connections on the traffic signals. So business relations, the manager certainly knows, and I know a lot of you do, I'm very pro-business and will try to draw businesses in. One of the ways we support our existing businesses is courtesy. Just being polite in what we do, doing our job, doing our inspections. We know that word spreads. And I know this because we deal with some businesses and they say, wow, you guys are so much easier to deal with than another municipality. I'm an advocate for our businesses. A lot of times our businesses will get their annual inspection of their sprinkler or their fire alarm system and their contractor will tell them, you must do X, Y, Z. And they will contact us and it's not always the case. Sometimes they are trying to enforce current standards on a building that is 80 years old and it's not true. So I may advise them that it would be a good idea or it would be great, but it isn't necessarily required. Provide help to our businesses whatever we can. Amy knows as well, we do a lot of first aid, CPR, AED training. We just did one a couple weeks ago. Business wanted to buy AEDs, but they didn't have anybody to teach them how to use them, so we went over there and did that. And we provide fire extinguisher training as well. Ways to attract new businesses. In our office, Amy maintains a list of the vacant properties at any given moment. So when a realtor, a commercial realtor, or the boss, the manager calls and says, hey, we have a business interested in coming in, we have a list. It's maintained at all times. And they may be looking for a certain square footage, a couple of bay doors, and we can look that up pretty quickly. I've reached out to the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce to offer to be a point of contact. If a business contacts them looking to relocate into this area, I gave them my contact information and alerted them of this list we maintain so that we can be that point of contact and try and draw businesses in here. Another thing we do is a policy I established long ago is when we get a new UNO for a business that wants to come into our township, we call them within 8 business hours. So if we get that given to us at 3 p.m. today from Building and Planning, they will get a phone call from us by 3 p.m. tomorrow to schedule that first inspection. Plan reviews are also conducted within 8 business hours. If a plan review is given to me from the Building and Planning Department, they will get it back in 8 hours. And the other thing that I have found useful in today's day and age is a lot of businesses will ask about flooding and power outages and that kind of stuff. I'm fortunate that in my nearly 20 years here, I have that institutional knowledge that I can tell them, you know, it would be a good idea, you're probably not going to need it, it doesn't go out too often, you don't get any flooding there or what have you. And that proves to be beneficial to the businesses and they appreciate that. So our goals for this year, we're going to continue to be the professional and detailed department we are, providing those types of fire inspections. We will continue the highly trained firefighting and technical rescue services that we provide. Going to continue to give compassionate and professional emergency medical care. We're going to conduct thorough and science-based fire investigations. We're going to continue our training and professional development of all disciplines. In emergency management, we're going to maintain that state of readiness so that no matter what happens or when, we will be ready to respond on behalf of the township. We'll continue to support our colleagues in emergency services throughout the township, police, fire, EMS, as well as departments in this township, public works and so forth. I'm going to continue to seek grants, continue our business development efforts, and knock on wood, we will finish again 2025, no injuries. And I want to thank the manager, I want to thank council for your support over the years, and that's it. Any questions for me?
Kevin, how long you been here?
Just shy of 20 years.
20 years. What a difference 20 years ago.
Wow.
Till today.
Very different.
But with the, I just want to say with the police department and your department, it would be real easy to organize it and just stay level and not really change or grow, just stay static. But you can see with the police department and your department, you just keep improving, 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 and making it better. And kudos to you and the chief, police department, all your guys for stepping up and just recreating and making it a better place.
Thank you.
And making it safe for all of us, for Bristol Township.
Yeah,
That's a very powerful presentation
Yeah.
yeah,
there.
the
Got
staff
a lot
I
of
have in that
feedback
department
already on
is
text.
top
yeah.
notch.
I'll try and
Very
regurgitate all
nice.
that tonight.
Good luck.
Have a copy of that too?
Okay, anything
Yeah,
else?
that was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it on both sides for police and fire for everything they're doing. Yep. Okay, next on the agenda, we have a combination. Combination honoring Bill Rizzo upon his retirement. Bill, come on up, Bill. Charlie, you coming up with him? Come on, Charlie.
Oh, you have to stand up at the podium, Bill, first.
Yeah, got to stand up there, Bill. Bill, you graduated in '74? Same as I.
Yes.
You also were before we get anything, you also were you played football.
Yes.
You were a punt returner, right?
Punter.
Punter, there we go. I remember watching at Egan, watching you. You looked a little different back then.
What's that?
So did I. So, do you have something to read for Bill?
I do.
Okay. Good to see you, CJ.
Good to see you as well.
Lieutenant.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Tonight, the township will take this time to recognize Bill Rizzo's career. Bill began his career as a mechanic in 2002, serving the township vehicles and the police fleet. He used his expertise to ensure that the township never stopped running. He was a crucial piece of our success over the years. There's going to be a plaque presented to Bill honoring his dedication, and it's a symbol of the township's appreciation throughout the years. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Can I, you want me to read the plaque? Thank you. Okay. This is great. This is beautiful. Charlie, good job. I'm looking forward for something like this. But all seriousness, and I know Bill for 40 years, right? We know each other, right? All being all up here. In honor of Bill Rizzo, for your dedicated service, expertise, and unwavering commitment to repairing and maintaining the Bristol Township Police Fleet. Your knowledge, skill, and passion have made a lasting impact and earned the respect of all who have the privilege of knowing you. Your efforts have kept the wheels turning, the engines running, and the roads safe for our countless individuals. You've been the heart of every repair, and your legacy will continue to inspire those who follow in your footsteps. Thank you for the exceptional service to Bristol Township. Wishing your endless cars to your work on as you embrace this new chapter in your life, 2025.
Thank you.
I just want everybody to, I'm bringing this up, but Charlie had this done.
That's funny.
You need to present that, Bill. Let's get a
All right, get a picture.
So, Bill, who do you think 40 years ago we'd be standing here together again?
Honestly.
Yes. Racing, drag racing.
You want more? We can do stylized.
Ah, yeah. Everybody pop your knee. Pop the leg.
Congratulations again, Bill. Next, we have the website presentation.
So I'm going to hand this off to Heather Satterley, who spearheaded the new website. This has been a goal of all of ours, of Township Council, of myself, and Heather came in, got the gang together, and the team, really pulled through under Heather's leadership. So I'm going to have Heather present the website.
Thank you, Randy. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay. So, thank you. I just want to say before we get into the website that this was a really amazing project to work on. Being new to the township, I learned a lot about our community. I learned a lot about our team and the work that each of our departments do. And it was just a lot of fun to kind of bring bring a little bit of my perspective and kind of highlight the things that have made me really proud to live in this community. So, and to work in this community, but also live. So to highlight and kind of start off, I just, not going through every single website, but I do want to highlight for residents who may be watching and for council that the website kind of starts off from the top. This banner that goes across for government, departments, community, and how do I, that'll travel with you whether you scroll down or up. It'll go on every single page. And so no matter where you go on the website, you can continue to navigate and find where you need to go. So this is just going to be a really important part of being able to navigate and find where you want to get your answers. There is a really nice search capabilities. So a lot of our websites or web pages are tagged with different words that might get you to, if you type in Randall Avenue Bridge, it might get you to Randall Avenue Bridge updates. So those are all things that, you can use these features. We then have these lovely graphic buttons. So some of these are like the very big and popular agendas and minutes, online payments, permits, program registrations, notifications. So the ability for us as the township to send notifications to our different, just different populations within our community. We've set up different neighborhood notices, so I'd really like to encourage our community members that if you would like to get updates related to your neighborhood, come up here and sign up for ones where you live or where you work, and that if anything comes up that affects that neighborhood, we'll be able to get those as an email blast out to you and communicate that quickly. So those are all built together, and this will continue to update as we build out as well. There's also, you can subscribe to getting, anytime we post a new agenda. You can also subscribe to get notifications about the different calendars, whether it's a meeting or an event, holiday closures. Let's see, I was trying to think of what else. We did put, for everyone who loves our refuse and recycling and scheduling bulk, we've got reminders of when to schedule your bulk pickup already built into the calendar, the week that bulk pickup happens, yard wastes, our township cleanups, they're all on there. So if like me, you forget to schedule your bulk pickup, this is an important calendar for you.
But you can just go on and register your email and it'll send you what you select.
There's like
Yes.
20 of
Yep.
them. I signed up for every one of them. I figured I'd weed them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You just create an account, and then you'll be able to sign up with your email. And then it'll just, anytime something happens or we post something new, it'll automatically generate to you in an email. We also have a lovely feature, which this is, you have to sign in for it, so I won't do that right now. But we do have a section here which will grow in a couple of months when we add a new feature that's more robust called See, Click, Fix. But for right now, we have the report a concern or share a compliment button where residents can submit a general inquiry, they can submit a concern, they can report something that is an issue, a pothole, streetlight outage, things like that, and that regardless of wherever it is, it comes to the manager's office, and then we then direct that out to the appropriate department to address. So it's been, less than a month that the website's been up, and we've already gotten about 20 to 30 different requests come through, and we've gotten to send those off and got action on all of them from the different departments. So if you're not quite sure where to report something, you can report it right here, and we'll get you where you need to go. We have our popular resources section. So this is something that we can update on seasonal basis. So right now we know bulk pickup, mist trash, streetlight outages, snow management. Obviously come summertime, snow management won't be as relevant. So we'll be able to move that off, and then it becomes stormwater management. So we can provide quick access to some of the hot topics that are happening in the township at a regular basis. So over the next several months, we'll be able to take the information and the analytics that come from the website and look at that to see what are residents searching. So anytime somebody uses this search button, in the back of the website, it's going to tell us, oh, this person is searching for, YouTube public links, right? And so maybe that's not as visible as we want it to be, and so we can make that more visible on the website if more people are searching for it. And we can also track, where people are clicking and all of that. So it helps us to figure out what people need easier access to. Down here is kind of our connection site. So over here is a news post section, so we can create news blasts and information, to send out to residents. So that's where some of those regular notification posts will generate over here. You'll also see that we have actually 2 calendars, which right now this is showing the events calendar. Right now there's nothing happening in the rest of February because it's a little snowy and cold. But if you actually move forward, you'll see we've got our bulk pickup. We've got the senior center, some of their programming, letting us know that, oh, that's happening. So people might see that. And then you can click on a date, any one of those, and it's going to say, yard waste collection begins. Same for summertime. Our concerts will all generate there as well. And then if you're wondering about meetings specifically, you can come on and see, all right, when's the next township council meeting? And you can move into March and further months, and you'll see, okay, we've got the planning commission meeting, we've got zoning hearing, we've got the EAC, township council meetings. You can see all of those on that calendar as well. And this will obviously fill up over time. We do also have our Facebook feed in here as well, so that's already built into the website. And then we've got all this good information. Under government, you're going to see the different township council page, administration, boards and commissions. We have a section for township history, our department pages that'll get to each of these departments that people are looking for. Our community page, so we've got the township, the Township Senior Center, we've got the school district, Bucks County governments, links to a lot of our necessary information that our residents need. And then we have our How Do I section. So if people are looking for how do I apply for a job with the township, how do I apply for my permits and licenses, how do I contact Bristol Township, those are all there, and that's where we're going to kind of add those quick links that people may need to take action. We have our different staff directory, so access to our different departments, the information that they may need if they're trying to reach a specific staff member in the department. Maybe they're like, oh, I'm trying to reach Jair Brown to rent a facility. They'll see his phone number in here, and those are direct lines and directly emails to each of our staff. So I'm happy to take any questions that you may have, but that is a brief review.
So just tonight we're live. If you wanted to go live, where would you go for that? Government?
So we're going to actually go back to our main page. We've got it linked in the popular resources, and then right here in view recorded public meetings, and that takes you to our YouTube page.
What's that? No,
he wanted
just
to see us
tonight,
live.
like we're live now.
He'd like
Oh,
to
yeah.
see himself.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, before the old antiquated it was, you would go to the left and just scroll down, it said live meetings, and you click on it.
Yep.
You go watch the meetings, and, or it's, okay.
Yeah, so
Because
we
a
have-
lot of people don't have cable so much anymore, so they're gonna have to go to to YouTube or whatever to watch it.
Yep, so we've got that here, and then there
And
is
you
also, I
can
believe,
watch
a
ol-
link.
You can watch older meetings when you click on that too? Okay.
Yep, it's going to take you to, the YouTube page, so I'll quickly show people that. And it will, see, we're live. So we could click on that, we'd see it.
Did I wave?
Oh, 4 people are watching. Hi, everybody. So you'll see that we had all of the different meetings. So,
Yeah, but there's some 22,000 on TV watching.
yeah, oh, perfect. My good side. So yes, these are all of the previously
Look, Wes, you're
streamed
up there.
page.
All right,
So,
cool, okay.
yeah,
I'll check that out.
Any other questions?
Not for me?
Yeah, so just a big shout out to Bristol Township School District. Gallus Obert the other night was he was giving the kudos to the website and, you know, encouraging everybody to go check it out. So that was great of them to support that as well. But you'll probably be hearing from them for their website update. So anyway, shout out to them.
It's absolutely delightful. Thank you for the great job that you did. What I love about it is it's completely intuitive. You don't have to be, you know, Grandma can go on that and just find her way around. It's really good. And Grandpa. Grandpa passed away.
Great job, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving right along, we have the consent agenda. Consider approval of voucher list and requisition dated February 20, 2025 in the amount of $4,902,238.68. Approval of January 19, 2025 council meeting minutes. Consider resolution for official sewage facilities planning module for 623rd Avenue, Croydon. Consider resolution for official sewage facility planning module for 612 Coventry Lane, Croydon. We need a motion on that consent.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Sidney Murphy,
Second.
second by Patrick Murphy. Is there any questions on that? All in favor? Aye.
Good Irish folks.
Anyone opposed?
No.
What did I say, Patrick Murphy?
Patrick Murphy.
Jeez.
Local boy, he's a local boy.
Pat, we're gonna have to amend the minutes. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good. Don't
I had,
worry
he's
about
on my mind for
it. Did
some
that go
reason.
out over the airwaves?
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. I'll tell you later why he's on my mind, okay?
Yeah, I know.
No, report from Township Manager. Yeah,
Thank you, President Bowen.
probably sounded cold.
We have a couple of updates. As Chief DiPolito had mentioned, we're still working on the senior center and the fire station. We need some utility relocation that we're finally at the end of getting the finalization to be able to do that. Once that happens, then movement should be happening again with more construction on that project. That'll be once the senior center is built, the senior center will move over, and then the fire station will commence. We are also working with the residents in Edgeley with the concerns on Radcliffe Street. So we're scheduling a meeting with PennDOT and hopefully our senator and state rep will be able to attend, and the residents of Edgeley. So we'll get in contact with them soon. And I'm going to ask our township engineer, Kurt Schroeder, to provide an update on Randall Avenue Bridge.
Yeah, so the update on Randall Avenue Bridge is, you know, we finished out 2024 feeling pretty good. We had the concrete issue falling, you know, resolved. We had all the decking installed. Phase 1 work was completed, and we had bid Phase 2 work, and we had awarded a contract to Loftus Construction to do the abutment repair work. And we were very optimistic that we would be under construction at this point already and well underway. And yet we are now, you know, nearing the end of February and still not started yet. And that is, in our opinion, directly the result of challenges with getting Amtrak to give us permission to enter into their right-of-way. When we were doing the Phase 1 work, we had talked with Amtrak and the same team of their staff with this abutment work and saying that we don't have to come through Morrisville and we don't have to be on your tracks and we don't have to get outages in the middle of the night and all the challenges we had with Phase 1. This would be work that would be entirely completed from both sides of the bridge with access from the top side of the bridge, and they would come down around the abutments, perform the work, and, you know, exit in the same fashion. We frankly were under the impression through those discussions that there would be little to no involvement with Amtrak because we were not going to foul their tracks. We were not going to be near their electric catenaries. And we've encountered the exact opposite. So the contractor has been working diligently to try to provide the requirements that have been set forth with the site-specific work plan that Amtrak requires. And we are trying to get that completed as soon as possible, hoping possibly to start by April, but probably not sooner with the time it takes to deliver these what we think are egregious requests. And then the other challenge that we're facing too is once we felt the installation of fencing was put in place, you know, the bridge has two intermediary piers that support it, and the fencing will go from those piers that are outside of the track, outside of the foul zone, up to the top side of the bridge that we could get to work. And Amtrak's now saying they need at least 2 full-time inspectors to be present during that work, and they can't guarantee, or at least it's been Loftus's experience, that similar to how we dealt with phase 1, where guys aren't available, they call out, you know, things like that. So it's really been a challenge. We've definitely tried to cut through red tape to the extent we could. You know, we've engaged the Congressman's office, since, you know, Amtrak's a federal agency, to try to, you know, help expedite some of this. And the other frustrating thing too is, you know, part of the requirements they're asking is to produce plans on how things will be done, like scaffolding to be set up, or jacking, you know, like cribbing and jacking to take the load off the abutments to perform the work. And that information is can only be gotten after the contractors get in there, mobilize, and excavate and see what we don't have bridge plans from 1919, so we have to get out there and physically do some excavation to even be able to put together that plan. And right now, as of last we heard, this week, we had a call, is they want everything completed now and delivered now, and we've asked if we could start and work iteratively through the different phases of this 4 to 6 month construction project. So it's been a frustrating start. We thought we could be, you know, a quarter of the way through construction at this point. So this is really delaying our schedule out toward, you know, more like Q3, Q4 of 2025, before we can even seek to try to reopen that bridge.
Well, personally, it feels like Congressman Fitzpatrick has abandoned us. I mean, after a brief foray into providing some help and assistance in dealing with Amtrak, where is he now?
I don't believe that is the case. The Congressman's chief of staff had given me a call and asked how things were. We advised him of this. The Congressman was meeting with the CEO of Amtrak on another item and brought these issues up. So we brought these issues up, and right now, you know, there is no movement, but we're still working with the Congressman.
Yeah, but it's also been months of this, and we're grossly delayed, so I hope the Congressman steps up to the plate. That's my point for bringing it up. It's let's step up and continue to do the job.
Well, and also hope the CEO of Amtrak would visit us again and feel the pain, you know, as opposed to being disconnected from what's happening in the local community. There seemed to be movement on phase 1 when we were in front of them and talking face to face, and, you know, everybody working together. And now that has seemed to just done a complete 180, and nobody's helping us along. So
Well,
hopefully we'll get there again with them immediately, if not.
We can seek to have another meeting.
That
with
would be
him.
lovely.
Well,
Thank you.
that would be really important, because it doesn't seem to make sense to me that you have to go to the CEO of Amtrak to get the Randall Avenue Bridge approved through his subordinates. Where's his regional command? Where are the people making these decisions? It's ridiculous that you have to go begging with your hat in hand that we have to go begging our congressman with our hat in hand, can you please beg the CEO of Amtrak to do their job in an appropriate manner? We have competent engineers who understand the situation. We presented it in a reasonable fashion. So I'm just taking this opportunity to vent a little bit about this, because it's ridiculous that we're being, and our residents, our taxpayers are the ones that are suffering because of this. And that's what's burning me up about it. So I just want to make sure that it's public where we're jammed up. So some folks need to step up. That's all I have. Thank you.
Kurt, thank you for that. Yeah, the bureaucracy is terrible. Look at our roads down here. Potholes all over the place. It's just brutal. But, okay, we got to move on. Next, we have a report from Township Solicitor. Thank you.
Hello, good evening all. I just want to say the website looks great. I had to use it today for searching for something, and it's the first time I've ever entered something into the search bar on one of these websites, any website I've ever used, and the first one I was actually looking for populated at the top, and it didn't do any like, oh, I think you want this, SEO stuff. It was wonderful. It made my life a lot easier because I like to use the search because it's quicker than trying to click through everything. That's the way I do things, so that was great. Just one quick thing, something I've noticed, or we've noticed as a firm with some of our other municipalities that hasn't translated down here yet, is we've been seeing a lot more in the last year uptick in property owner real estate tax appeals. One of the reasons we're not seeing them down here is the redevelopment and the turnover of commercial properties here, where it's actually being done anyway because they're being improved, they're being done, building permits go through, they get up to the county, they do a reassessment, school district files their reverse tax assessment appeals on their end, so the numbers kind of work out, and we're not seeing that down here yet. So it's just a testament to the idea of the real development and the effort you guys have put in, that it provides a little bit more stable from a financial standpoint that we're seeing.
It's because we're builder friendly. Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, thanks.
You're
Have
welcome.
a good weekend.
Great week.
Stay warm.
I hope so.
Next, now we're going to move into new business. We have a 2025 fee resolution. Who wants to handle that one?
So this is, every year we do a revised fee resolution just to update any current fees that we have. This primarily was to include, we have our Parks and Rec building now that is out for rental. So this is to include all those rental pieces, meeting rooms, dance room, several different conference room. So there's many uses out there that can go for the website, and we will. We already actually have it rented out on Saturday as our first rental for a party. So departments under Parks and Rec, and then rent our Parks and Rec building, and then these will show the pictures of all the different rooms. Yeah. Yes. So, full kitchen use, and bathrooms, and plenty of parking.
No. That works good. It's good it worked out that we got the Aspire building.
Yes, it was. Great planning, President Bowen.
Yeah, thank you. A little bit of work, a few lunches here and there. Things worked out.
You need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick Antonello. Second by Joe Glasson. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Next, we have an appointment to Environmental Advisory Committee, and I believe it's Arlene. What's that?
Ariel.
Ariel, thank you. It's at Bristol Township
McDevitt. Give
School.
her full name.
McDevitt. I got that one right?
Sure, it's not Murphy. Ariel Murphy.
Yeah. What can I say? And
a
we might as
tough
well go,
room.
can we go to the next one too? Both, and Gary Dunbar. They need a consideration
I'll make that motion, Craig.
to appoint him. Motion by Joe Glasson. Second by Mary Ann Wagner. Is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
They're watching at home, they're two of the
Yep.
four.
Two of the four.
Okay, next, we have to go to other business. Is there any other business? Once, twice, going? Yes.
I did forget to mention on the website that our website is fully accessible to people with disabilities. So if there's anybody who has limited sight capabilities, the website is fully accessible via screen reader. So just an exciting thing to make our township more accessible to our community.
Atta girl.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thank you. And
Going
next,
going off of that, so Scott Holbert, our solicitor, had sent over an email to all of his clients talking about the new changes that are going to be made that are be required for accessibility on the websites. And it was a very quick reply back saying our website is already built for those and then built for the standards that are coming even further down the line.
Oh, swell.
Yeah, we had another client who was doing the same thing. They were redoing their research, or their website. We're asking for that information, so we figured to send it around, make sure everyone was aware, and they
Great.
definitely were.
good. Next, we have comments from council members. Got any holidays coming up or anything?
Yes.
What do we have? Well, okay, anybody?
Nothing. You got St. Patty's Day and a parade coming up in March.
Well, actually, this month, you actually have Fires in the Mirror at Bristol Riverside Theater. That's going on February 4th to February 23rd. I do have my tickets, so I will be attending tomorrow. Also, this upcoming Saturday, celebrating Black History Month here, they have the African American Historical and Cultural Society in Bucks County is having an African Americans in Arts and Labor at Benjamin Franklin Middle School, 6401 Mill Creek Road, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday. So know the past and to shape your future. See you there. Be food,
Very
drinks, and
nice.
all other good stuff.
Thank you
All's
for
welcome.
bringing that up. Anything else from anybody? Nope. All right, next we have, moving right along, we have opportunity for residents to address council. And Wes Retzler, come on up, because it looks like everybody else left.
You have the green light on, right? Okay, one of the things I wanted to inquire about is I see this every morning on my street, Western Avenue. I don't know if it's people that live in my section, maybe people that live in Glen Hollow or the other sections down below by Georgine's. But they come in there and they go through one stop sign at Westwood or Westmont. They go through the second stop sign at Needham, and I don't know if they go through the stop sign at Old Rogers before they hit 413 or not. They'll be doing about 40 to 45 down through there every morning, same people. Very easy to see on my cameras. All I have to do is roll over and look at the monitor. Next thing I'm going to ask about is my neighbor was in for a permit for a 10-foot fence. On that meeting, he was told that he couldn't come out past the front of his house. It couldn't come out all the way to the end of the street. Well, it's about 8 foot away from the property line at the end of the street. Now, that meeting that he was told that at was February the 15th of last year. So it's been a year. And in a year, I guess our L&I department hasn't seen that, even though it's been reported 4 or 5 times. One of them times was this afternoon.
Well, it all boils back to sight lines, right, Wes? So if the sight lines are acceptable, it's probably not an issue that they're going to cite. You understand?
But it's an ordinance.
There's an
The
ordinance.
was
The
put in
ordinance,
place for a reason.
well, the ordinance also has a caveat regarding sight lines. It's written right into the ordinance. You know the ordinance, right?
Yeah.
With all due respect, that's the way the ordinance was written. It's about sight lines. There's no hard and fast number on that. It can be 8 feet or 3 feet. I know because I worked on that ordinance. It's about sight lines. So if the sight lines are bad, if you ride up and that fence is blocking your sight lines from the corner where you were gonna make a turn or there's gonna be intersecting cars, then you got a problem. But if the sight lines are okay, there's no hard, fast number on that ordinance. I know it because I worked on it. With all due respect.
Okay. So, first place, he was allowed a 10-foot fence.
That I had
And-
nothing to do with, and I would have, personally, I would have said no to that. But
I
that's
know-
just me.
I know one guy that's in this room that said no to that. He was ignored. And the reason I'm asking about this is you have a guy out on Airport Road, going down the Airport Road from Route 13 that has a business. And he wanted to put a 10-foot fence all around his business, and he wasn't allowed to do that.
I know that guy.
Now, you know who that guy is, huh? Name is Beagle, if you want to look it up.
One of my favorite people.
Hey, shouldn't have stopped him. He's a place of business, and he deals with chemicals, so he had every right to put a fence that high in there.
That's not how the ordinance is written.
You allowed it for a resident, right?
I didn't.
Zoning board did.
That's correct. So you,
You could appeal that decision.
if you wanted to spend the money. But that's the zoning board, not us.
Yeah, but they gotta go through zoning before they get here, right?
Not for something like this. It's not coming here. It's just zoning.
Right, they go to zoning, they don't come for a zoning variance.
Because it's not land development.
So you're talking me, I gotta go talk to Bidemeyer.
That's what I would do.
All right, on that note, I want to just say, Ray Blakelock, it was great for having you here. I'm glad you stopped in. I apologize for calling Pat Antono, Pat Murphy. And on that note, that was my only screw up tonight, so I'm doing pretty good.
You're
And,
doing terrific.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out. It was a great evening. Thank you for the officers in the back protecting us tonight. And time to adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Hey, anyone opposed? Thank you so much.